Everybody, welcome back. Doing another Marvel's Midnight Suns video. We got some new DLC coming, Deadpool, vampires, all that, and they got a couple videos that dropped, including a deep dive into Deadpool. So let's check those out and give some commentary. All right, so this is just the promo one that they had that's sort of got a...
These vampires are getting out of control, and it's
Sounds like
all
Gilbert
Deadpool's
Gottfried.
fault.
Don't be so harsh on him, Sarah. He's super brave and super awesome and super handsome.
All right, so
Wisecracking anti-hero. This is a
So obviously they mentioned vampires coming, which will be kind of fun and cool. We'll see how that sort of plays out.
robbery. Or
Well, guess what, everybody?
whatever. I'm adaptable.
Jimmy, my frickin' chungus.
Mortals! A Magna Core ego is eternal!
Blah, blah, blah.
Click.
What?
I can be honest and say there wasn't the budget for it. Look, Ma, I'm gonna be DLC.
All right. Interesting in your typical Deadpool fashion with the humor and sort of like off the cup squibs. It looks like it comes out here. It's the 24th right now. So I'm actually going to put this video out as soon as I finish editing it, so this is going to be coming in the next couple days. It looks kind of cool. I personally really love the story in the game, so I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how this extends the story and also potentially some Abby stuff. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like that. I do. I do like that as sort of a side thing in the game. So that was one aspect of it. Looking forward to that. Now let's look at the deep dive. So this is the deep dive done by Chris, who I think collaborates with Marvel and Midnight Suns. I think he's another content creator. So I'll put the links to both these videos in the description below, so you can go check them out.
Wolverine and I have in common. By now, you may have figured these out, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Number one, we're incredibly good looking. Number two, we're incredibly humble. Number three, we all love root beer as mandated by the Canadian government. And number four, we were all part of the Weapon X program. Only one of these is a fib, by the way.
I don't think he was part of Weapon X.
We are back with another character showcase created in partnership with Marvel and 2K. The first of the DLC heroes, as you know, is Wade Wilson, the Merc with a mouth.
Which I think is a good one. Hopefully this will get some people attracted to the game again.
Deadpool. Deadpool's kit is almost entirely built around his Enfuego system, and
So I have watched this video, and I want to emphasize that point. They talk about an Enfuego system. I'm very curious to see how this does work and play out. Similar to some other build-ups like Binary or Rage with Hulk. You want to build this up and it helps your abilities go. It seems like he's meant to be the primary attacker in all of these setups, and then you've got support around him.
We're gonna say Enfuego a lot today, so start keeping track. Each time you KO an enemy with a Deadpool ability, you're gonna build your Enfuego meter. Once that meter fills, it adds a stack of Enfuego and the meter resets.
So you want to be KOing with Deadpool a lot, obviously, given that.
Of his 10 cards, 9 are modified by the number of Enfuego stacked. So,
it's a lot.
Like some of the other top tier damage dealers in the game, think people like Iron Man, Ghost Rider, Hulk. It makes sense to build your team comp around them to let them shine as much as possible.
Yeah,
now, Deadpool is going to lose some effectiveness when taking damage, so heroes like Captain America, or surprisingly enough, considering their relationship, Wolverine.
Yeah, so he's going to talk about, I wanted to make a comment. It's interesting you see these swords glowing. I wonder if those are some sort of pits or something that you got to destroy. He's going to talk about here where you want to make sure you take as much damage off of Deadpool or have people taunt for Deadpool as much as humanly possible.
Are helpful to taunt enemy attention away from Mr. Pool. Unsurprisingly, of course, Doctor Strange has a couple of abilities in Vapors of Valtour and the Shield of the Seraphim that would complement Deadpool extremely well here. Now let's start with one of Deadpool's common attack cards, titled after a nice little XCOM callback.
Now, before we go to that, one of the things that I've been thinking about with this is I hope he has a lot of quick cards, because if he doesn't, that will be harder to sort of execute everybody on the playing field. It's great to have a lot of damage, but without that quick card stuff, it could fall dry.
Death from above. Wade's going to take to the air while drawing both of his swords and then come plunging down towards his target. And if you have Enfuego stacks, you'll start seeing hugely increased damage per stack. If you upgrade Death from above, you're going to increase the damage per Enfuego.
So that's where you see, let's move me out of the way here a little bit so you can see a little better. But you can see in this card, and they all read this way, where they've got the Enfuego times blah 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 damage. So I mean, when I see +3 damage, I'm like, cool. Now I'm hoping that these get much higher as you go up, because I get worried about how quickly you can KO enemies to build up those Enfuego stacks.
Fuego stack. Are you keeping track of the Enfuego mentions? Because we're at least over 5. I know that. This is one of the more straightforward applications of Enfuego. Before we get into some of the more advanced ways Enfuego affects his abilities, let's look at his passive. I'm personally looking forward to spending as much time with Deadpool as possible. He's witty, he's funny, he's sassy, and he's got just a little bit of the edge, you know? He's gonna kind of get everybody on their toes at the Abbey for sure. These are all top qualities that you want in a best friend.
Yeah,
Each
right.
of the DLC heroes has their own arcs, similar to the base game
Which
heroes.
is part of the stuff I'm looking forward to.
If you follow these to develop your friendship, you'll unlock Deadpool's passive ability called Staying Alive. How
This
that
is
works
huge.
is each turn you'll heal 15% of his max health.
So catch that again, 15% of his max health is going to be healed per turn. So you can see here, it says Staying Alive 2, recovers 56 health each turn, plus an additional 18 health for each Enfuego. And you can see down here the Enfuego. It looks like this little fire might be, you know, 1 stack. It's kind of hard to tell, but so this, he could end up healing quite a bit, which would be really nice. And I could see him being like the front runner for your team, and you just put support around him, like I said earlier.
Very helpful for those times when you're not able to taunt away or conceal him from enemy strikes with supporting staff. And at level 2 of Staying Alive, you're going to heal an additional 5% of max health per Enfuego stack. Moving on, Deadpool has 2 skill cards in his kit. And for this showcase, we're looking at his legendary Hey face. And if we've learned anything,
I do
we've
love
learned
that they're
cards with
going
exhaust are very situationally
right into who
powerful,
Deadpool is. Look
and
at
Hey
that
face
weird
fits the bill.
vampire
Deadpool
looking
will
thing.
taunt an enemy and gain a resist for each Enfuego stack. Resist is arguably
Crossbones
one of
is
the
back?
strongest mechanics in Midnight Suns. Unlike most other status effects, it remains until it's consumed. If you're able to play Hey face with a large Enfuego stack, you'll likely have enough resist to last the rest of the battle. On upgrade,
So I want
you'll
you to hear
gain
that.
one powerful,
So
and
this
Hey
card is
face
huge.
fits the bill. Deadpool will taunt an enemy and gain a resist for each Enfuego stack. Resist is arguably one of the
So you want to be able to do this card when you have a ton of Enfuego stacks, because as he's about to mention, resist is one of the more strong abilities in the game, and I love to stack this up. So you make sure you use this card at the proper
mechanics
time.
in Midnight Suns. Unlike most other status effects, it remains until it's consumed. If you're able to play Hey face with a large Enfuego stack, you'll likely have enough resist to last the rest of the battle. On upgrade, you'll gain 1 resist without needing an Enfuego stack at all. And depending on your current hand, you can play this as an early card play and then taunt away or conceal Deadpool to keep those stacks for future turns. But this should help preserve his Enfuego stacks as the mission continues.
I do love
Let's
his
move over to
abilities.
his
They're just
common
fun.
heroic ability. It's called Pain Pinata. Deadpool targets an AoE and damages every enemy in the AoE. If you guys have played any Midnight Suns, you'll know that the battlefield can get pretty crazy, especially late game, so AoE damage is very much appreciated. Of course, we need an Enfuego modifier for this one. And
Well, I
instead
take
of
that back. It looks like there's... Well, no, never mind. I see 3 bars for Enfuego. It's kind of hard to tell the
modifying
stacks
the
there.
damage, we're going to be actually modifying the size of the AoE itself. Each Enfuego stack increases the size of the AoE by a whopping 25%. On upgrade, you'll get a much appreciated reduction in heroism cost.
No, I love the heroism cost decrease. I've been torn on these increased areas. Sometimes they're just not enough. So I really hope that the amount that expands does make it feel like it's an actual impact. Because these Enfuego stacks, again, at first glance, I feel like are going to hard to get up.
As well. Speaking of heroism, outside of his mag dump ability, Deadpool requires very little heroism to
Which
be
is
effective.
awesome.
This is something that sets him apart from his comparable damage dealing buddies like Iron Man, Ghost Rider, or Hulk. And this should open up some interesting team comps, so keep that in mind when you're experimenting with your builds. Last but not least, let's look at Wade's legendary heroic ability called Burning Sensation. Weird title, but it is Deadpool after all, so I'm not surprised. Excellent for dealing huge single target damage versus one of those Guardians, Nest Mothers, or Fallen villains. Burning Sensation's damage doubles for each Enfuego stack. The upgrade here increases the base damage, which exponentially increases the benefits from the Enfuego stacks too. So that's Wade in a nutshell. The first of 4 announced DLC heroes.
That could get, so that is his heroic ability. It's hilarious that he's got this little like witch hat and everything. Burning Sensation. Again, playing into the Enfuegos, double the damage. I could see that being pretty nice. Again, depending on how much you can get those Enfuego stacks. And I've liked everything I see from him so far. I think that in something like this with a DLC in a game like this, it's more to me about what sort of new story content, what sort of new things do they have for us to do in game after you finish that story. Because at some point, you know, running on that hamster wheel, you want to incentive to doing that and not just building up friendship levels and stuff like that. So my hope is that they do this well, but I'm still very much enjoy the game and think it's a lot of fun. Let's see what else is happening in here.
Make sure you're subscribed to both the Midnight Suns YouTube channel and my own. My name again is Christopher Odd, and I'll make sure that there's links down below for
I think
all
Chris
things
does make a
Midnight
lot
Suns.
of content for Midnight
Thanks again to
Suns.
Marvel and 2K for working with me on these showcases.
I
hope you enjoy
that
playing the game with the new heroes as they release. And of course, I'm going to be back
for
to
him
do
or the
more
animations
showcases as
like
they do release.
this. It's fun.
Thank you so much for watching.
Like, I just think
Deadpool's
it's
going to be
very, very
available
cool.
on January 26th.
Couple days
Very
coming
excited
out.
for you guys to get your hands on them. Take care.
Definitely
Bye for now.
stoked. So I am very interested to see how this sort of story moves forward. I like everything I was seeing in Deadpool. Let's move myself back over here into the corner. Tuck it over here a little bit. But I like everything I see. I'm looking forward to it. What are you guys' thoughts? Are you looking forward to this new DLC? Do you think Deadpool is going to be something that you are going to want to play and invest in the game a little bit and get things going? You know, is it attractive to you? What did you see in his kit that worries you, that you like a lot? I'd love to hear in the comments below. And I've got the Discord links and all that kind of stuff in the description below as well. So I appreciate you making it this far. If you want to hammer down the like button, click notification bell, subscribe, all that sort of thing. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.